Welcome in, button mashers, to another fantastic episode. Today, we're joined by both Doodles and Jay again. I'm NatesLegend. Welcome in, boys. How you guys doing today?
Hey, how's it going? Good. How you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing all right.
Well, all right, fantastic. It's been an interesting week in the video game world. A lot going on, a lot of announcements, lots of things. So we're going to try to cover as much as we can of it. Try to keep it within the allotted time as well. But I think we should have plenty to discuss this episode. Now we're going to go ahead and jump right into things. I have our think about it question. All right. Now I gave you guys this question already, so I wanted you guys to have a second to think about it. And what is your favorite horror or zombie or survival video game? Let's go with Doodles first. You seem to be into the genre. What you got for us?
I'm gonna say I have two. My number one first response has to be Bloodborne, just off instinct, because it's the most scary game that I've ever played. First going through, it was nuts. But in zombie, I would have to say, well, what was it? What was that zombie game when you're in the mall? Help me out with this, please. Well, I mean, there's plenty. You got Dead. I believe Dead Rising has a mall scene. That's the one. Dead Rising. Yeah.
Dead Rising. Okay.
Yeah, I like Dead Rising a lot. That was a lot of fun too.
Dead Rising is pretty good. The diversity of weapons in that game is fantastic. That's a great answer. Now, Jay, I know you're not a huge fan of the horror genre. You've made that very clear. Okay. What do you have for us today, though? What are your?
I actually also have two.
Okay.
That's funny. I didn't think that I played this game, but it's actually not as bad for me to play, and it would be the first Left 4 Dead. And the second one would be dang, I just had it in my head. Left 4 Dead, no. Riptide.
Left 4 Dead Riptide?
Yes.
All right. Left 4 Dead is.
Oh yeah.
Is it?
That's the one where they're on an island and stuff like that. And
gotcha. Okay. I'm drawing a blank on that one, man.
You should tell us about it. I'm having a hard time remembering it too.
You're talking Dead Island.
Oh, Dead Island. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I was gonna say I know this. I know this one, but I did not put it together. Another great answer. I actually agree with you.
It was a lot of fun.
Right.
Left 4 Dead is on my list as well. That's one of my two. I thought it was it's the ultimate zombie game. We've talked about it. So I agree with you there, Jay. My other game, however, I chose Until Dawn. Now I know may not be the best horror game out there, but it was so much fun to play. It does have some replayability. Until Dawn, absolutely fantastic horror game. Or at least
Until Dawn. That's the one where okay. That's the one I just played that, I believe, and it was so much fun. You
go up to the cabin and
you're making these choices, and your choices influence the game. And I think it has like 9 endings or something like that.
It has a lot. It has a lot of different variants of the ending. It's there's a whole butterfly theory effect that it plays into. But yeah, there's a lot of different endings for it. I don't know the exact number though.
That's another one that I would love to keep playing too.
That one's good. You should, I have it. We should play it sometime. That'd be a really fun one to play.
Yeah.
Really good. All right, all of them great answers.
Wait, is that the one where you have to stay in like a type of light and the zombies can't go into the light, otherwise they burn or something like that? Or is that Beyond Light or something? I mean, not Beyond Light, Before Daylight or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember which one it was, but
I'm not sure. Beyond Light, that would make sense to be. I own that and haven't played it yet. I also haven't played Outlast yet, but I'm working my way through them. It's a journey. That would make sense to be Dying Light, though, wouldn't it? Like, I haven't played it. Horror isn't generally my go-to, so it makes sense. All right, we'll move on, guys. It's all good.
This is going to be a super good episode. This is going to be
We're just going to keep forgetting all the horror games. I feel like it has to do with our desire to not remember. right? It's not. There's this horror that's ingrained in us, and we've just completely forgotten everything about them. Just like, nope, I'm just gonna tune that out. No more. Disassociate.
Yep.
All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and jump into our not so breaking news. Quite a few, like I said, lots of announcements. So we're gonna start here. Target specifically is changing the way that they're distributing the Xbox Series X. Instead of so the way that it was laid out, let's go back here and lay this out. So they used to have like specific dates for drops, and that was you knew the date, you knew when it was coming, anybody could get in there. Now they're changing it instead. It's going to be as stock arrives. So as soon as stock arrives, they're going to just immediately list it. It's supposed to help make this a little more fair, a little more random, and less predictable. Thoughts on this? Do you think this is the correct route to take, Jay?
I absolutely think it is the best route to take. It's a way to combat everything, and I totally agree with it. Unfortunately, I'm a PlayStation guy, but doesn't mean that I don't plan to get an Xbox. So I do see eventually down the line when PlayStations become more available, as stores have them, they will be able to do the same thing. And I think every other store should pick up on that as well.
I agree.
The crazy thing about it is I read that article that you brought in here, and it was literally talking about certain stores having it in stock, not just the entire.
Yes. So regionally based as well. I mean, Salt Lake's going to get their own. You know, we're not fighting people from California for it. It's Target stores, Target regional locations. So definitely a great change. At least making it so that we get somewhat of a fair shot. Great point. Yeah, I just hope it is a precursor to the PlayStation. If it's successful, do it for the PlayStation as well. Do it for all these future drops. Doodles, what are your thoughts?
So could you actually? I didn't get to read the article. Could you tell me a little bit more about what's happening?
So instead of dropping all of their stock online all at once on a specific day, they're changing it up so that it's going to be basically regionally, as stock comes in, they'll announce it at that point for that region, right? Instead of just mass releasing everything. So
so instead of just doing a dump from one site that goes to multiple places, they're just doing it by specific location.
Specific location, a little more random.
I think it's a better idea, honestly. It's more efficient sounding, at least. So that's pretty much what I have on that.
All right, no, that's completely fair. Moving on, more not so breaking news here. We have a new trailer for Back 4 Blood. Speaking of horror games and our whole genre today, and Left 4 Dead earlier in the episode, we have Back 4 Blood. Did you guys get a chance to actually see the preview, the trailer?
Yes, I did.
You did. All right.
I am,
Doodle.
I'm not really one for playing scary games, but since I played, most of the Left 4 Deads, this is perfect.
It's gonna be.
I mean,
so good.
because the best part about Left 4 Dead series, not Left 4 Dead. Is it Left 4? Yeah, Left 4 Dead is that you get to actually play it with your friends. So, I don't have a problem playing scary games as long as I'm able to co-op play them with, like, say, my friends and stuff like that. So totally.
Oh yeah, that's 100% what it's about. It's about going out and living that fantasy of killing zombies. The trailer itself did give us, so it gives us a more intimate look at the what's called the cleaners. They're your playable characters. They each it seems like each has kind of their own special ability in a way. They each you have your doctor. Looks like they'll be able to heal. So each one has kind of their own different abilities. It explains how the zombies became zombies, right? It's the worm. And honestly, it looks like a refreshed version of Left 4 Dead. Like I am so in on this game. I am sold. The trailer just has me aching for more. I'm excited. That's one we'll definitely have an episode on.
And you know what? I think when that game does eventually drop, since there are 3 of us and it is a co-op game, I think we should, me, you, Scott, and maybe Chaz if he's down, if he's watching.
Yeah, I would love to get Chaz here.
We can get him in there, or even Patrick, even whenever
we get a full team in on this,
full squad on this, dude.
That
would be so awesome, dude.
Right?
That would be
rad.
Oh yeah.
Do it! Just do it! Yeah. Anyway, no, fantastic. I love that idea. Speaking of which, we have some stuff coming up here. We'll kind of break down some things down a little later on with playing games, but we'll cross that bridge well in the future when we get there. More not so breaking news here today. Warner Brothers Games is apparently breaking up their studios. I'm not entirely sure who all's getting what, but yeah, they're all getting broken up. This includes NetherRealm and Rocksteady are also they're all kind of in the mix here. Have you guys had a chance to read much up on this?
Yes.
All right, Jay, what you got?
Read every little thing that you.
All right. Yes, do it. All right, fantastic. What's going on?
I happen to think that this is somewhat of a great idea because it takes a lot of the control away from one main entity and giving individual voices to individual departments. And I think this is a great idea because we saw everything that, all right, I'm just going to reference the Snyder Cut, because if you let, Zack Snyder do what he needed to do in the first place, we wouldn't be in the situation that we were in. Granted, he went through some things, but as we can see, when a certain person has a lot of control and the fan base is all for it, I think it's well placed to give these people a shot. And I think what Warner Brothers is doing by doing this is a great idea.
Okay, that is a fresh take. That is fantastic. I love that. Love that answer. I mean, I read a small article on it, kind of the one that I sent you, but I didn't have a chance to really dive in. The most I saw is they're not sure where things are going. So really, really good. I mean, it definitely sounds like it is just trying to refresh and give people a fair shot at actually making their games. We have Rocksteady that's currently making the Suicide games, right? So we got NetherRealm. We've talked about Mortal Kombat. Who knows what we're going to see from these? Is this going to be more money allotment because of it? Really excited to see.
I also have a theory as well, or more of like, I don't want to say theory, but more like a rumor maybe. But I think that maybe internally within Warner Brothers that hasn't been announced, there might have been a certain change in power in some type of way. You know what I mean? In order for these things to happen. So maybe it's an internal move that they're not going to make public as far as a change in power. The person's still there. He's just not taking control of certain things. He's relinquished that and, delegated responsibilities to other places. Instead of having one main person, there's like 6 people head of, certain 6 departments or whatever it is. So maybe that might be going on. But then again, that's just a theory. That's just one man's take on it.
Definitely an interesting theory. I mean, it's very plausible. I mean, especially if they're going to separate things out like this. Yeah, it definitely makes sense. I would say anyway. Right. All right, guys, let's keep it rolling. We got lots to talk about here today. We got Starfield. One of Bethesda's upcoming games has officially been announced as an Xbox and PC exclusive. Saw it coming. I mean, it makes sense. It's Bethesda.
It's Bethesda. And
I mean,
they're now with Xbox, so I could totally understand that. That's a Microsoft property, so I mean, just
right.
We already knew it was coming.
No one's surprised by this.
I'm actually okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, PlayStation has so many exclusives that Xbox players don't get to play. For once,
it's true.
For once, besides Halo and Gears of War, I mean, it's perfectly fine for Xbox to have all this exclusivity. I'm okay with this. PlayStation's had it for so long. It's time for the people who play Xbox to actually have a voice.
Yeah,
personally.
Yeah, I agree. There was once a time where PlayStation was like, I mean, it's really the PS3 versus the 360, right? It was so PlayStation. Sorry, I'm trying to think of how to word this in my mind because, you know, anyway, PlayStation was always the kind of the free, the lots of independent titles. Anybody could really do anything with it. It was kind of the Android of the video game world. And then you had Xbox 360 that was very tight knit, very exclusive, very restrictive, very, you know, couldn't do a whole lot with it. So they were kind of the Apple of the world. And I feel like this has really shifted with this next gen console. I mean, yeah, you have the 4 and the series or whatever, Xbox One X or whatever, you have those in between, but this really shifted that focus, and Xbox feels a lot more you know, independent friendly, very modifiable. It's very open. It's, you know, PC, crossplay, all of this fun stuff. And PlayStation has kind of become that Apple model where it's very restrictive, very, you know, you do our thing or not at all, you know? So definitely been a power shift in my mind over the last little bit. Now, I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have absolutely no idea why I fully went on that tangent, but I absolutely did. And we're going to move right along past it. Speaking of more cross-platform stuff, we have a big announcement coming out of Rocket League. I know that's one that Doodles and I have been playing a lot lately here. Rocket League has announced well, not all, premium DLC cards will now be available via cross-platform. Basically, you purchase it on your Xbox and you still get it on your PlayStation 4. That is something a lot of people have been asking for. What are your thoughts?
Finally. Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, just please. Thank you.
I have some not so breaking news I would like to add to this as well.
Okay, by all means, go ahead.
Next week, I will be joining you guys in Rocket League.
Woo! All right.
We need sound effects. We need something. We need dun dun dun.
Have to teach me the ropes, but I will be joining you guys in Rocket League next week.
Do it. We will. We'll set up a gaming day and we'll absolutely play. Now, with this announcement, there are a few restrictions. It does not include platform-specific vehicles. So your hog stickers, Mario, Luigi for the Switch. Who is it for PlayStation? It's the
Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth.
Yes. Yeah. So those ones won't be available. Neither will the Batman and DC superhero packs. They will not be available cross-platform.
Lame. That sucks.
Really upsetting because that's the one that I how often am I using?
Is Batman and stuff like that? Is that not on the PlayStation or Xbox or anything? That's on PC.
You could purchase it for either. So there wasn't a restriction on really where it was available. It's just one of the ones that it won't be transferable. That's really the biggest difference. It just I don't know. That's like I said, that's the pack I use more often than I don't. So yeah, kind of rough.
Meh. Yeah.
But no, really exciting. I'm excited to have those cards, especially some of the cool skins and everything else that come along with them. My Takumi, what is it, the RX?
Takumi
RX? Yeah, the one that I think that's my exclusive card at this point. That one is one that should be transferable though. So I'm hoping that will come with it.
The card that I want would be Brian O'Connor's R34 Skyline.
You have that one, don't you, Doodles?
I do.
You have that one. Yup.
I have it. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I might not have the game, but I've been paying attention to it. I got a lot of clan members that I play with in Destiny who play that game, and I saw it in the store, and I saw the Fast and the Furious pack, and I'm like, oh, what kind of
dude.
Okay.
You know what, Jay? You just I'm so stoked. You need to hop on and play. I'm so happy you're going to. We're gonna have a third. This is gonna be rad.
It's gonna be great. We can do 3v3s. You just gotta jump in and do it. That's the important part. Just jump in and do it because Rocket League is one. It's complicated, but it's fairly intuitive as you really get going. So there's a lot to it, but it's still simple. Just jump in and play. It's fantastic.
Sounds good. I honestly, I can't wait,
Right.
and I know I've been talking about it for a long time, and I need to do this, and I need to jump.
I'm just glad that you're going to go ahead and pull the trigger. That's the important part.
Yes,
there is you're finally going to do it with us. It's dumb. It's stupid. We also got to get Fall Guys going, but that's
going to be so
all
cool.
Right, we got to keep things rolling along. I apologize. Let's go ahead and move on to our next really our topic. I'm going to go ahead and make this a full topic if y'all don't mind here. We have Overwatch 2 and the big announcements. It was what, a 2-hour long, I don't know what it was, a really long stream, just with big announcements, all sorts of fun stuff. But here's the biggest, at least IMO. We have it's moving from a 6v6 game. It's no longer going to be 6v6. It will be a 5v5 format. That is 1 tank, 2 DPS, and 2 healers. How do you guys feel about that?
Hold on. So is this set 1 tank, 2 DPS, 2 heals?
Mm-hmm. 1 tank, 2 DPS, 2 heals.
I don't know really how the game operates because I've never played Overwatch. So
okay. That's fair.
I'm not really in tune with it, but it has been one of those games that I've seen that I'm willing to give a shot since it's the second one coming out. I know the gist of the first one, and if I really want to know the story, I can YouTube it. But
there's not one.
It's not much. No, I mean, there is some stories, but like,
character
that's kind of like when you're playing, there are YouTube videos you can find where all of them are looped into one video. You watch for an hour and a half and you're done.
Super fun too. Like, I love those videos.
And that's what I'm saying, because sometimes the backstory between the characters are kind of important. It's like Mortal Kombat, you know what I mean? Like, Mortal Kombat kind of started that, the individual story arc in tournaments and stuff like that. And I'm kind of interested to see where that goes. So I'll probably take a look at that. But I am thinking about getting into Overwatch as well. I'm trying to expand my horizons in gaming, just not limited to Destiny 2 or Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Or even Mass Effect. Don't get me wrong. I love it so well. But I want to try to explore a little bit more in that. So, look, we have a comment. But yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll cross that here in a moment. All right, so guys, beyond just the changes there. Well, no, you know what? I'm gonna give my opinion on this because let's Doodles, you and I played Overwatch 2 a lot. Not Overwatch 2.
I was gonna say something as well too. I would, yeah.
We'll get both of us in here now. I spent a lot of time playing this game, and I'm gonna tell you guys one thing: I am the world's worst DPS. I can't do it. I can't do it. But you give me Reinhardt, you give me Diva, or really any heals. It's all, from there I'm great at the game, but I cannot do DPS. So for me, being a main here, being a tank main, I'm kind of sad to see it go. I'm kind of sad that I won't be able to bounce between and mesh with my other tanks. But I think it's gonna work better for the flow of the game. So
kind of what I was gonna say as well. It's a bummer, you're gonna be able to have 2 tanks.
No, but at the same time, on attack, it's so much, and at least in my opinion, it's got to be so much better. You don't have 12 shields that you have to bust through just to get somewhere, right? No more camping in a corner, no more just trying to hold out. No, get out there and actually fight. Like, come up with a strategy that requires you to actually defeat someone instead of just like sitting there and doing nothing. That's my opinion. I'm 100% behind this, 100% down to have 1 tank. I have no problem with it at all.
Yeah,
I think having 1 tank would be a good idea. There always has to be a tank and a healer and then an attacker on a team, period. So if I were to play a game like that, I would want to be more of like the support character, like the healer type, because that's just how I operate. I try being the point man. Like Nate, I'm not really that good. You know what I mean? I try to do it in Destiny all the time too, but I'm really not that good. I am really a trash player, but I enjoy playing with my friends.
It happens.
You know what I mean? But in tank, I could try doing the tank, but the tank does take a brunt of the responsibility, and you have to know
It is.
everything
It's a
that's
lot of
going
pressure.
on behind you or in front of you or around you in general. I am more of the healer support guy. When they say medic, that's me.
That's
you know what I mean?
That's, I mean, yeah, no, completely.
I like the idea
fair.
of having
You can. We're all gonna play this. We're gonna do this. So, Doodles, you're fairly DPS oriented, right? Right, like that's kind of your main role. You do Genji and
It's
I've been a DPS main. Reaper has been one of my favorites to play as. I miss my soul orbs.
Right. Oh, that's right.
Miss my soul orbs. I wish you'd give them back to me, Overwatch, but you took them, and that was really rude of you, and that sucks. But it's cool. I'll forgive you.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Reaper, Junkrat. I like. As far as tanks, though, I do enjoy Reinhardt and Roadhog. Those are my faves.
Okay.
Yeah, and as far as heals, you got to have Lucio or Baptiste. Like those are my faves as well.
When was the last time that you and I played this game together, Doodles?
It's been so long.
It's been a minute, hasn't it? We may have to get back into it here
shortly. For that update, if you haven't had it updated.
We will. Also, I want to just throw out a big shout out here. We have greetings from South Africa. Thank you for joining. We're just here to have some fun. So thank you so much for popping in here. Breaking down more Overwatch 2, however, we also got announcements. So we have new maps that were released. We have Rio, New York, Toronto, and Monte Carlo were the big ones that were announced here. They look fun. Nice, new, pretty maps. At least it's something. It's not like they're just rehashing Overwatch 2. At least, or Overwatch. Wow, I'm gonna keep doing that. That's on me, guys. All right, y'all. We also got refreshed character models, so they're a lot sleeker looking. They're a little more futuristic, a little more, kind of what you'd expect from Overwatch. A little less clunky, lot more sleek. New abilities as well. So we have May that can no longer freeze people. May will no longer completely freeze people.
What?
That was
what?
Thing.
No, wait. What? But what does she do now, though?
She still slows you down. At least from what I was seeing, it slows you down, but you don't just stop. She can't just freeze you and then headshot you. Like, it's gonna be a little more work. So definitely revamping a lot of different things with the game itself, trying to make things more smooth. I'm here for it. I
wonder if they'll add like visual aesthetic to kind of like to jump on the other side of that instead, to kind of make it so it's more difficult to shoot out of being frozen. Because if you can't be frozen by May, that kind of like takes a huge chunk of her attack out. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it works.
At that point, you're no longer feeling like you're just gonna get frozen headshot. Like that's the one thing that was the worst about May is you get frozen, you're stuck there, you can't move, you're gonna get headshot, and you're just screwed either way. Like there's no counter to that once you're frozen. So I think I don't mean to select things here. I think it's a really good addition, at least to revamp some things and take character feedback from your fans, really.
Maybe people were just sick of being frozen all the time. I don't know. Right?
Well, here's the thing. Speaking of things that you may be sick of, one of the worst map types, Assault, so your 2 capture points, is not going to be in the game.
They're not going to bring that back into 2, huh?
No, at least per the article I was reading, I can always revamp a few things or whatever else, but or revamp. Wow, excuse me. I'm just wandering in my mind today.
Can I go in early on this real quick and say that I bet they change their minds later? I think fans probably demand this back. I don't know. I'm not saying it's the best mode ever, but I'm saying it was a really good model for the game, and I bet you they probably bring it back in some shape or another.
It's got to be something. It's kind of a staple of the game, right? Like, aren't the majority of maps the 2 capture points at this point? I know we got a lot of
but that's pretty much their main format right now, I think.
Interesting. They did announce a new game mode as well. We are looking at I didn't look up the name of it, and that's on me. But so basically there's a centralized robot, centralized point. You are supposed to push that robot payload. We're just going to call it payload. You're supposed to push the payload to the enemy side. So it's essentially a game of tug of war with pushing. You're pushing a payload, and that sounds fun.
It does sound really awesome. And it'll encourage people to be like on point for once instead of like doing whatever they're normally doing. I like the idea of everyone being on point. Sounds cool.
Hey, any thoughts from you? I know you haven't had a chance to really play much of Overwatch, but what are your thoughts?
I just after hearing all of you guys, between the both of you guys, I'm actually kind of interested in playing it. Giving it a shot.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm used to playing a 6v6 type deal because of Destiny and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but, when you change the dynamic to 5v5 instead of 6v6, that's a little bit different because you're taking down one less man. It adds a little bit more of a challenge to it, and I'm kind of good for that. I would really like to see where that continues to go.
Well, I think for one, you're just going to love the variation between the characters and just how everyone plays differently. There's so much to it. Just it's awesome. A lot of fun. Everyone plays different. You learn how to kind of combat everyone differently. I'm excited to see you play this with us.
Well, because I have to once I get the game, what I would do is I would have to find the character that fits me, my play style.
Yeah, for sure.
There's so many of them at this point.
There's so many of them. So that's why I say
how do you like to play them? If you got a chance to play this game, what would you be looking for from a character, Jay?
For me, I would want to see control wise, how would the while I'm using my controller, how does it feel using certain actions? I know that it's all technically universal like most games are, but how does the abilities work for certain characters? How does the movement feel for certain characters? Because you have those skinny characters that are fast, majority. You have those big characters that are somewhat slow, and then you have the medium characters that are right in the middle. You know what I mean? So movement, controls, how's the graphics look on my screen? Stuff like that.
I think you'd be a Reinhardt main. Based off what you're describing with the flow of the buttons, the how they make sense for what they do, I think you'd end up as a Reinhardt main, if I'm honest. Because
no way, dude.
No sense.
No way, dude. I'm calling Wrecking Ball. He's going Wrecking Ball. He's going Wrecking Ball.
Wrecking Ball doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
He's going Wrecking Ball, man. He's awesome. Wrecking Ball's awesome.
Hard to be able to combo those, man. No, it's not Wrecking Ball.
But he's a hamster in a robot, and he swings around, and he's like a Wrecking Ball. He's cool.
All right. Well, we'll leave it there for now. And as a matter of fact, in the comments below, if you think I'm gonna be a Reinhardt guy or if I'm gonna be a Wrecking Ball kind of guy.
Yes. Who should Jay play as? Jay is going to play Overwatch with us here within the next couple of weeks. Who does Jay play as? Who do we force Jay to play as? Please leave a comment. We want to know. We'll throw it up here. It's we want to know. Great.
I have an idea for a segment now. Can I just pitch it on air?
No.
Can I pitch it on air?
Pitch this on air, Doodles. Let's do this. I have no reason. Let's do this.
All right, here we go. Once
right.
Jay starts playing Overwatch with us, we do a contest every week where you pick one, I pick one, and then we could just stream it, and it could be like a thing. That could be cool. But you know what? That's something we could talk about later. That's a lot of fun stuff.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna say no, but we'll cross that.
Good ideas, man. There they are.
Lots of cross here, guys. We're working our way up. No, all right, we'll put that aside for the time being. Let's go ahead and jump into our main topic of the evening: Resident Evil Village. Y'all, it is the newest. It's the newest installment of Resident Evil. We have here. It is developed and published by Capcom. It is the direct sequel, at least the story sequel to 2017's Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. You are reprising your role as Ethan Winters. picking up about 3 years after the events of Biohazard. Now, first thing I'm going to point out, and I want to make this is one thing that I think is the most important when going into this game. It is okay if you haven't played Biohazard. Yes, it is a direct story sequel. They actually give you a recap at the very beginning, and it does play into the story of the game. So it is worth you can just jump right into Village. You're not missing anything. I do recommend playing Biohazard, of course, but it's not required. So just want to point that out. Make sure it's known. There is a story at the beginning if you're wanting to take that. Now, I had a chance to play a little bit here over the last couple weeks since it released. Doodles, you did as well. You completed it though. I'm still working my way through the story, but you've completed the game at this point, right?
Yeah, just barely. Just before we started the stream, I wrapped it up.
We're talking. I sent you a text message with like 3 minutes left. Yo, you guys are cutting it like close here, y'all.
Yeah. So what happened was I beat the game, and it says, "Hey, you guys coming?" And then I set up, and it was like just like that. It was like beat the game, text, and then I was here. So it was cool. Right. That's kind of how it worked out.
I was coming back from Target. I had to pick up some supplies.
That is absolutely okay. Did you happen to see a Series X while you were there? They're now regional and released.
Actually, yes, I did. I didn't because the one over here by my house didn't have it, and I had to go to another Target like 10 minutes down the road.
Okay. There's always one more Target within 10-minute drive. There's always another one.
I would rather have a Target than a Walmart, but that's just me. And so I had to go all the way down to that Target, and I see like a line of people trying to get the Xbox. And I was like, man. Oh, shit. I was like, what's the line for? They're like, oh, they have like 15 Xboxes, and there's like 30 people in line, and they're doing a raffle here in store for it. I was like, oh, they're doing a raffle system. I thought it was first come, first serve, but hey, if they're doing a raffle system, that's only fair.
That's at this point, it's that you have just as much luck getting an Xbox or a PlayStation from a raffle as you do anywhere else. It's
well, I mean, especially if the store itself is doing that to kind of decrease people from fighting, at least you have a fighting chance to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like you have and there was only like honestly, there was really like 30 people there, and they said they only had 15 in stock, and they're raffling them off. They give everyone a ticket who wanted one or who has the money for one or whatever it is, and they call it a day from there. So
that still doesn't sound fun to me. I don't want to have to deal with all of that at all. But it's all right. It's all right. I have mine for the PS4 here. That's where I ended up picking up the game. So we'll just keep using the PS4 till I can eventually get a 5. It's fine. It is what it is. All right, y'all. Let's talk about the story for a few moments. Now, when it comes to picking up where we left off, it is 3 years later. It's not quite where we left off. It's 3 years later. It's we've settled down. We've moved away. We are no longer living anywhere near Louisiana. We're living in somewhere in Europe. I don't even know where. Somewhere in Europe. Settled down. You have had a kid together. Nice life. Little rocky at times, but it's a nice life. You're enjoying things. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna ask for a spoilers if we can get that thrown up on the screen here now. Okay, y'all. I wanted to keep this as spoiler free as I possibly could, but this is spoilers from the beginning. Let's just go with, I'm not even going to tell you what exactly happens. Let's just go with, you are safe at home one night, then suddenly you're not. All right. Like, you get kidnapped, your kid gets kidnapped, all shebang, lots happening. Suddenly you are in the middle of a forest, wandering your way through, trying to get back to your family, to everything. All right, we'll take the spoilers down. That's really the extent of it. Sorry about that, guys. That's the most I can give. But you're wandering around. You get to the village. Work your way through the village. It's actually infested by, what is it? Doodles, refresh. Is it lichens?
Yeah, they look like. Yeah, I think they're lichens.
Jay, yeah.
You guys hear me at all?
There we are. Yeah, hey Jay.
Oh no, my screen froze. I clicked the wrong button.
Oh, we don't want to lose you.
That's probably why the background changed. That's my bad. Like Screenflow.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's not a. I didn't even notice. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I didn't even notice. I'm just talking. All right. So,
but I believe they're lichens. They're lichens that are in the village.
Okay, and they've completely torn things apart. Meanwhile, you're learning the entire time. It's going off on Mother Miranda has abandoned us. Now, Mother Miranda was referenced in Biohazard as well. There are plenty of references to her. All these characters, they did a great job with the story, binding it all together, even though it is very weirdly separate.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not. I haven't completed the game yet. I actually okay. So I started the game, and I like jump scares. They're fun. I really hate like shadows in the dark. Like I hate that. I've made that one clear. But I enjoy a good jump scare. But my wife enjoys watching me jump scare. So I started playing it, got them jump scares in, and immediately I'm like, you know what? I can't do this without her. So last night is really when I put a bulk of my time in, just really busting this through. This game is a jump scare factory. Even just walking through the fields, you just randomly bump into a zombie thing, and you have to try to book it and run because it's tracking you. They're terrifying. It's a one down creepy village. But yeah, you ultimately have to make your way up into the castle. Now, again, if we go too far beyond this, we're going to start looking into more spoilers. So we'll try to keep it as spoiler free as possible. Doodles, what are your thoughts up until this point? You've just made it. You're working your way through the village. What are your thoughts on village? I mean, this aspect of things.
So the best way for me to describe my experience playing this game, Resident Evil Village, I was lost a lot.
What?
I was lost so much, but yeah. So just trying to find your way around the initial village at the beginning was a true challenge. And then when I got
in a cornfield by any chance, because that's where I got. I refused to go into the cornfield because I'm like, I know there's something in there, but you have to go through the cornfield.
You have to, yeah.
Terrifying stuff at that point, but yeah, no, I lost all the time. It's anyway, yeah. Keep going. Go ahead. Yeah. What else do you have on the just the village side? We haven't even gotten to the castle side of things yet.
Okay, so just the village side. All right. So you start out. You're trying to solve puzzles. You're trying to find tools to help you navigate through the village. Man, I played it so quickly, it's kind of a blur. So you're gonna have to bear with me.
A lot that happens. That's the really crazy part. Is there's always something happening, right? Like the very first scene, something big happens. You got immediately moving into this village where something big has happened. You know, you move from there into, it's always something big. So it does. Some things don't stand out as much as others, even though they are big events. It's really weird. So I don't blame you for forgetting some of this early stuff.
I have a question for both of you.
Yeah, by all means.
How many times did you guys die?
Oh, man.
Ooh, excellent question. In fact, that leads me to another point. I'm sorry. I'm going to tangent for a few moments. It's on my list of things to get to anyway, but we're going to go ahead and talk about it. All right. So as you are traversing this village, you eventually end up, you're just getting chased. Like that's the big thing. Like that I've really noticed about these games is you're doing a lot of running. You run from things. Now this is more action packed. There are, the zombies that you're fighting. It's a little more action based than its predecessor in Biohazard, but it's still very, very runny. That's your entire job is to run. So you eventually get to this point, and I don't know if I was intentionally supposed to die here because there was no escape. I died like 4 or 5 times in this area, and there was absolutely no escape that I could track. Turns out it's all a part of a cutscene, and I just had to go a specific direction and die in that direction, but I still had to die. It's, so everything. So as I was dying, everything went black and white. It makes sense. You're dying, it goes to red, black and white, really show that you're dying there. So it's black and white. Get dragged off where I'm supposed to. They leave, whatever else. And my screen's still black and white. So I heal. And my screen's still black and white. And I'm just getting to the. I just got to the castle. I'm just figuring out the castle. I'm thinking, okay, it's got to be because it's nighttime. It's got to be because I'm working my way up to the castle. It's got to be something, right? An hour or so. I would say it had to have been about an hour of me walking this castle, walking the village in black and white, thinking it's completely normal. Then I died, and everything responded with color. Now, I'll have you know, it took me an hour to do all this because it was all in black and white. If I had color to be able to see what I was supposed to do, I easily could have maneuvered and had this done in like half an hour instead of an hour. But it took me an extra hour because my game glitched into black and white. I don't know if it was supposed to happen, but it was rough. It was rough.
Sounds unfamiliar.
Did that know? Okay, so it is just
I don't
me.
think it. I don't know if that happened to me. It might have happened to me though. I don't know.
Because okay, like when you get close to dying, to dying, does it give you that? Does it like changes your screen color, right? Like it gives you the. Okay, so it goes red. Does it go black and white? Have you ever gotten that close to death? Have you actually died?
The way that I've died has been in weird ways. Not from like fighting.
Of course it was.
Like,
I walked off the cliff. I'm sorry. Like I guarantee that.
Mine is a spoiler kind of thing. I don't want to tell you, but like
hit me with the door frame real quick.
I got ate by a fish a bunch. All right, you know what? I just got ate by a fish a couple times. All right, that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. I haven't gotten that far.
You gotta.
Okay, all right. So,
the format is there's 4 like main bosses for the game.
Yes. So
the format is for that, right?
Yes. It is very, very set based off of these 4. Now, I've ran into 2 of them at this point. I thought one of the more interesting aspects of the first person we meet, I've already forgotten their name, but they trap you.
I think it's Lady Dimitrescu.
No, the one before that.
Oh, the one before that? Oh, I don't know.
The sheriff that you run into. I don't know if he's actually I don't know what he is, but the sheriff dude that's there ends up trapping you in this this like spiky roll. It like rolls down after you, and so you have to like hide in this little corner and protect yourself with a knife. But it reminded me of the car chase scene from Dark Knight or Arkham Knight. From so when you're driving through the tunnels and you have this big machine that's chasing after
machine behind you that's chasing the tunnels and stuff.
That's what that reminded me of when I got tossed down and there's this big roll of spikes coming right at me. I'm like, man, I'm Arkham Knight all over again. Wait, that's actually how you get into the castle is through that dude. That's the.
Were you handcuffed at this point? Was this the thing? Were you handcuffed when the spikes were coming for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
This might be another thing. Ignore me if it is, but you know what? It doesn't matter.
Would this be?
I'm trying to remember now. I remember holding my knife up because I hit the L1 button, but I'm trying to remember. Oh goodness, are we in?
Man.
It's trivial things.
Yeah. Moving on.
All right. So yeah, it is broken up.
There's a lot that happens in this.
It's a pretty big game. It's really elaborate. I'm looking forward to seeing the backstory of these people because there's these. I mean, the castle that you end up in. First off, this is a gory game. If you've played the game yet, the distillery is disgusting. That is the gnarliest, grossest thing I have ever had to traverse through a video game. I don't know why I found it so gross, but I did. It was nasty. But nonetheless, like it's really, really intricate. It is based off of specific characters, so you kind of play these arcs. And I want to see the backstory. Do we learn the daughter's backstories, Doodles? Daughter and Lady Dimitrescu.
Not as much. I'm sure there is stuff. When I read the things, I didn't really like do full reads. I did a skim. So I'm sure there's stuff in the item, descriptions, and that's where you'll probably get more of your story.
That's fair. Yeah. You do have a lot of books that you have to find. So
yeah,
if you notice, it's really good about like marking once you've found everything. Like if there's still a book or like lore for you to catch up on, the building remains, or the room remains red until you open it.
I love that. Yeah, I love that game mechanic. It was so fun. I spent time just exploring like areas nonstop.
Which honestly kind of upset me a little bit. I was expecting a little bit more jump scare moving through, especially as you're moving through the castle for the very first time, right? Like I'm expecting I'm gonna run into someone. I'm expecting I have to run from these things. I have to crouch and hide and manipulate. But no, you're just kind of wandering through the house aimlessly, hoping to find the next area. It's really weird in that regard.
Yeah. So the fun, I don't know.
Get distracted by it. It's no.
I got distracted and I lost my idea. Please keep going.
Oh, no. You're fine. It's just this big elaborate, almost labyrinth that you have to wander around, and it does drag at times, which is kind of rough. I do want to bring some attention here to a little bit. What chemicals are used for healing in this game? Like we're not going to give you spoilers as to why I ask this question, but why? What is it that is actually healing me there? Because I got herb, that makes, sure. What magic herb and chemical combination does what this healing factor does? What is that, do you think?
Nope. No, I don't know it. Nope.
There's nothing we can say that would not spoil what exactly happens.
Yeah, and I can't help you on that one because I have
no idea what I'm talking about. No, you're good.
I need you to tell me the chemical because I already forgot it.
No.
Just says
the moment I'm referring to, Doodles. Like you know the moment I'm referring to. It's not necessarily what chemical is it so much as how does it do what it does.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Really, really strange stuff. It is a good game though. It's full of lots of jump scares. It is a little confusing. I definitely want to know the backstory of these characters a little bit better as I go, hoping that I learn. But you do get lost. It's super confusing. You get lost a lot. You're not entirely sure which direction you're supposed to go. But really good jump scares. You got bodies falling on you. You got other things happening and jumping out at you. I don't know. I thought it was a good game. I really did. I'm enjoying it.
Hopefully it gets better too because so it gets better because you get to be able to defend yourself. So even better. You start to get these guns. You start to get these things.
I have the base gun. I really do. I really only have the base guns.
It just gets better, and it gets so much worse. So you said how that one area was really gross.
Oh, I'm so excited to see what else.
It gets worse.
See, and the distillery doesn't even bother me that much, so much as I kept getting stuck. I was looping in a circle. So I'd go and I'd end up here and I'm trudging through this and there are things popping up at me and I am literally walking in a circle because I cannot find how to exit this particular building. And it just got to be a bit much at times, I think.
There were times that I caved and I watched walkthrough. I had to.
I'm still confused by a lot that's happening in the castle itself. Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
You know what, Scott? It's okay. If you have to go through a walkthrough, sometimes that's
nothing wrong with it.
No, nothing wrong with that.
It's not your fault.
And now that you bring it up, you know what I really miss nowadays? You ever go to GameStop and you see the Primus guides to games when they used to drop? To help you get through the game.
They're like encyclopedia sized.
I absolutely miss those. And I wish they would bring them back, somehow, some way for I would say modern day generation of players who don't even know what the Primus Guide is. I love the Primus Guide. The Primus Guide
makes me so much easier. I mean, now it's so easy to get the answers though, right? I run a Google search. Say I want to find out which decision is going to do what in Assassin's Creed. All I have to do is put the name of the person I'm talking to, and it will pop up with your, hey, which decision? It's so easy to find an answer anymore. You really forget that those guides ever existed. Like you actually needed them to find out how to do this, or you have to watch someone try to beat the game and watch their footage of it and still be confused if you're not entirely sure where to look in there. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare, man. Technology has gotten so much better. Yep. Nonetheless, all right, y'all. I think we've reached the end of our time. We didn't get too far into the game, and I know that we didn't break down, each of the characters or anything else. Main reason for that is we really wanted to keep this as spoiler free as possible. We don't want to ruin games for anyone, right? Like, enjoy the game yourself. If you're here for spoilers, I truly apologize. Let's give our final thoughts on the game. Now, Jay, I'm going to start with you specifically because you have not had much of an opportunity to play. What are your thoughts? Is this something you think you would ever be willing to do?
I will first off go and say hail to the no. I will not be playing this game anytime soon.
At least you're on it. Thank you for your truth.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I don't do scary games, man. But I did get a chance to talk to my best friend yesterday, or actually last night. He was actually in the middle of playing this game. He was getting chased by a chainsaw as I was talking to him, and a guy with a chainsaw. So he said that the game itself felt comfortable for him to play. And he said it felt like Biohazard, which he explained to me that it literally takes place from Biohazard. I asked him how he liked the controls of the game compared to the other game, and he said actually he doesn't see a difference. I asked him how he liked the storyline. He said the storyline was great so far that he played it. And he happens to think that the lady that's dressed in all white with the knife as a hand, like she's Freddy Krueger wearing a hat on Sunday's Best, is the hottest thing since sliced bread. Which
he's not the only one. She has a very, very large following.
Very large following.
The first thing I said was any person with eyes that look like wrestlers and hands that look like Freddy Krueger's I'm gone. I don't have a desire to make that thing a possibility in my life. But overall, I think that if I were to play this game, I think I might disappoint you guys, and I might have to go back to Raccoon City and play 2. Even 2 scared the shit out of me.
There's nothing wrong.
I couldn't even make it past Silent Hill, and I did that with nail and wood, and that was a long time ago. So it was very, very hard to do.
Okay.
I don't see myself playing this game anytime soon.
No, you're fine. You're everyone is welcome.
I'm a complete bitch when it comes to these scary ass games, man. I'll just be honest with you.
Don't stress it. It is what it is. Enjoy your video games. You don't have to terrify yourself just to enjoy yourself. Absolutely fine. We'll move on. Doodles, what about you? What are your thoughts on the game?
As a whole, I thought I enjoyed it as after figuring it out, trying to find my way through this game. It was such a challenge. It's very confusing, but as a whole, I think the boss battles were there. There were some lacking moments where there were some similar moments between boss battles, like common game mechanics going throughout the game. You'll notice, but as a whole, I'd say the story made up for it, and I'd give this game like a 7.
Good. Fantastic. Great review. We appreciate you giving your insight on it, especially someone that's been able to really dive in and finish it up. I like I said, I still haven't. I'm really enjoying it personally. I'll give my thoughts real quickly here. Really, really enjoying it. It is an intense story. It is it's just from the very beginning, it's super action packed. There's lots going on. I do, like, as I mentioned before, I'm really hoping to learn more. I'm just wandering a castle right now as far as I'm concerned. So I'm really hoping to learn more. Loving the zombie aspect of things. It is, like I said, more action packed than its predecessor. It's more, there is a little more to it. I like that it is less shadows in the dark or whatever else, which I can't do those though, man. Those are terrifying. So it is more zombie based. I would love a VR version. I know they did it for the previous Resident Evil games, but I would love a VR version of this game. So,
Oh yeah.
Overall, I would say I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. Okay, the only reason it's so low right now is only because of the black and white issue. If I don't have that issue and it doesn't piss me off for as long as it did, I would say it would be much higher. It is a fun story. I'm enjoying it. So definitely go check it out. We'll start to wrap things up now, guys. We have a few announcements that will be coming up in the next couple of weeks. First announcement that for today, however, not even first announcement, the announcement of today, there will not be an episode next week. We are taking a bit of a hiatus, a few different reasons for that, but always got to check your mental health, make sure you're taking some breaks and enjoying and relaxing your life as well. May is, of course, Mental Health Awareness Month, so please, by all means, please get your mental health checked out. We'll cross again more things in the future. We want to get you guys more involved. So that said, Doodles, where can our viewers find you?
I'll be streaming on Twitch here soon, as per usual.
Yeah. Jay, what about you? Where will our viewers be able to find you?
For right now, everyone can find me right here on Button Mashing and on Gaggle of Geeks on Fridays with Patrick and Chaz. And
Gaggle of Geeks. All right, sorry. We'll plug them in a second here. Go ahead.
And I will actually next month. I'm probably gonna get back into streaming again. I just got to make sure. I'm just working on the whole scheduling because I am working again now. So
yes.
It's taken me a little bit of time. I was supposed to stream last Tuesday of Mass Effect, but there was no way. I was too burnt. So
it happens. We're gonna make some things happen though. Like I said, I have some super big announcements that I'm just trying to finalize some of the smaller details on. So hang tight with us on those. They will be coming in a couple of weeks here. Other than that, guys, I'm NatesLegend. You can catch me really everywhere at NatesLegend. Please go give us a follow. Check out Gaggle of Geeks. It is every Friday. Is it still on Fridays? We're gonna go with it still on Fridays for the time being here. I've heard rumors at this point. So I'm just rambling for the sake of rambling. So y'all, everybody, please, by all means, get your mental health checked. Please take care of your mental health. And as always, keep gaming.